everyone. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on a look that I have had up in my professional services album on my profile page on Facebook, and I have had many requests to do that look, and I think it's called girly punk or something like that. So I'm going to be doing a look. That look was done a couple years ago, so obviously since then my technique has improved, my looks have improved, you know, my overall appearance and my makeup has improved. So definitely it may be a tad bit different from that picture, but it's definitely gonna have the same wow factor. So firstly, I'm gonna be priming my eyes with the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, or you can use any white primer that you have. A white eye pencil usually works well, something that's soft though, and you can also use the amplified eyeshadow adhesive by Arlene Baru for Ambrosia Cosmetics. So I'm gonna start by applying this all over the lid. And I'm gonna blend it out as well. So once I've had that pretty much blended, I'm also going to take a little bit and just put it along the inner part of my eye. I'm using my 88 palette for the majority of this look, and I'm using the white matte shadow that came with it. So I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that on a brush and pop it into the inner corner. So you just want to place that along the inner tear duct. And then blend whatever's left on your brush up in towards the lid and up towards the brow bone. The next color that I'm going in with is a very pale pink. Any very light sort of baby pink would work. I'm using this one right here. Again, on a flat brush, a small brush, I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that, and right where we place that inner corner color, I'm going to start that color right there. Again, you want to really pat your shadows on first for intensity, and then you can blend it. So I'm not going to be blending anything out just yet. So using the same brush and going back in with that palette, I'm using the third one up from the bottom in the same pink row, and it's essentially a very hot pink. Again, use whatever shadows that you have. Use a very hot pink for this. So I'm just going overlapping just slightly where the baby pink was. Again, patting the color on for concentration. Still not blending anything just yet. Just wiping off that brush, and I'm going with the purple along the last purple on the purple color. Again, something that's a bright purple will substitute well. Because I don't have a bright one just now, I'm actually going in with two purples. So I'm gonna pat again, overlapping the bright pink just slightly, and none of these colors are being taken up past the crease. Alright, so using that same brush, I've just wiped it off. I'm going to pick up just a little bit of the first pink that we've applied, which is the baby pink, and I'm going to start blurring out the lines where the shadows overlap. I'm doing that in a very soft patting motion, and then I'm going to gently drag the colors in together. So to get a good vibrant color here, I'm actually going over with a little bit of MAC violet pigment. Again, this step is optional, but I really like vivid purple. Good. So once that's done, I'm going in with a very small brush, and this can be a crease brush, it can be something that's very small and sort of flat like this, and I'm going to pick a purple color that's quite dark, not black but dark. So in this instance, with my 88 palette, it'll be the purple just above the one that we've used. Again, anything that's a shade darker than the color you've used on your lid, pick up a little bit on that brush, and I'm going to start by cutting the crease. And you don't want to take this all the way in. And you want to taper towards the inner part of the eye. And then you want to drag that color up slightly. So it looks a bit harsh right now. So what we're going to do next is pick up a nice any eyeshadow, clean eyeshadow brush, and going back in with that matte white that we used for the inner part of the eye. We're loading our brush up with that, and then we're going right up underneath that crease, that brow bone, and then bringing that down to blend out the top of the purple color that we've placed in the crease. And it's just going to soften out that purple. So now using a pointed crease brush, or you can go back in with the same small brush that you've used before, and just dipping a little bit of matte black on the tip of that brush and popping that right into the crease. And you want to take this black down towards the outer edge. Creating a V on the outer edge here. And you want to feather that in just slightly on the lid. This look is all about blending very well, so it takes a little bit of time. It's a little more skill involved in this. A little bit of the bright purple again. I'm gonna go over and blend out this harsh black. And again repeat the highlight process, which is just adding the white and bringing it down to blend out the harsh edges of the shadow. Okay, so once you've gotten it to the point that you're satisfied with the way that it looks, what we're going to do next is line or waterline, and we are going to line the upper lash line using some liquid eyeliner, and line as close to the lash line as possible. That I'm going in with a flat brush. It can be an angled liner brush, whatever you have. I'm using one like this, and essentially picking up a little bit of each color that I've used on the lid and going underneath my lower lash line. So that's a little bit of the light pink. Going with a little bit of the hot pink. And a little bit of the purple. It's mascara. top and bottom lashes. You can add false lashes for an even more dramatic look. For my cheeks, I've actually used, I don't know how many of you have actually seen this at Pennywise, but it is a Beauty Treats blush palette, and it took a little bit of this one to the top corner here and this one to the bottom here. And this is the Rose blush palette. I used it in a way that I would, what do you call that, a contour. So just under the cheekbones. On my lips, what I'm going to use is, this is NYX. This is their Black Label lipstick, and this is in Deeper. And it's essentially just a pretty sort of nude, pinky kind of color. That's about it for this look. It's all about the eyes. I hope that you guys like it. This is the finished look. Thanks for watching.